Hey folks, how's it going? Today we're talking about Fixed, an R-rated 2D animated movie that's so raunchy that some people couldn't even finish the film. Which, like, really? For real? Is it that bad? Okay, yeah, it's a lot. But in my opinion, I think a lot of people are overreacting to this movie. And that the hate is a bit uncalled for. Just a bunch of pearl clutchers.
Human style, baby.
I mean, when the trailer hit Twitter a few weeks ago, I saw a lot of disgust with people going, wait, this was the guy who made Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack, Hotel Transylvania, and Primal? That guy made this movie? Yeah, you're goddamn right he did. Genndy Tartakovsky is a freak, and I love him for it. Also, I thought y'all wanted 2D animated films. Well, here you go. Doesn't have a princess in it, but it does have a queen.
Oh, my queen?
The movie arrived on Netflix on August 13th, and it's quickly becoming one of the most divisive animated films of 2025. For those who don't know, it is a passion project that was produced and directed by Genndy Tartakovsky. A movie that he's been trying to get made for the last 17 years. I bet Genndy was like, okay, Sony, I gave you 4 Hotel Transylvania films. Give me my horny dog comedy now. And it's going to be in 2D.
Done.
Sony has already had an exceptionally notable year with K-pop Demon Hunters as the breakout animated film of 2025. That movie gained its own fandom essentially overnight and has become the second most streamed movie in the history of Netflix. And to follow that up with an adult comedy starring cartoon dogs is a pretty bold choice to say the least. Given how weird the premise and production history for this movie is, I can see why it was going to be an uphill battle for Genndy to get it made. Producing adult animation on TV is one thing, but attempting to get a feature film for something this specific and this gross is a completely different challenge. What worked about it? What didn't? Is this the first step in Genndy making more original movies? And are people overreacting with hating this film? Is it really that spicy? Well, let's find out. Real quick, this video is brought to you by Fume, the leader in flavored air. Breaking Bad. Habits can be hard, so why not let Fume help? Fume is not vape, nor is it an e-cig. It's just flavored air. That means that it can be used anywhere. I'm using it right now. Listen, you can hear it too. Which is thanks to the fact that it contains no vapor, no nicotine, and no toxic chemicals. And to top it all off, Fume is an award-winning device that can put you on the path towards better habits. And there's flavors for everyone to enjoy, such as maple pepper, black licorice, and spearmint ice. And while you go about your day, you can tame your anxiety demon with Fume's device, which was made to fidget with. I'm doing it right now. You can hear the little snaps and the clicks. I love it. I hold this with me whenever I record a video. I mean it. I love it for fidgeting. It pleases my ADHD brain. Over 500,000 people have made the switch to Fume as part of their habit change journey. I'm one of them. So if you're ready to try Fume out for yourself, then now's the time. Use my link at tryfume.com/Saberspark and use my code Saberspark. You'll get an awesome free topper when you order a journey pack to enhance your experience. Again, that's tryfume.com/Saberspark or hit up the QR code on the screen. Thanks to Fume for sponsoring our video, and now back to the video.
Oh shit, that's hardcore.
Okay, so what's the movie about? Spoilers ahead. Though I'll try to keep it to the point. I will fail. So we got Bull, a friendly but dim-witted mutt belonging to a Chicago-based family. He started off as a sweet-natured puppy. Aw, look at him. But 2 years later, his hormones have kicked into high gear, and now he just hums everything in sight. Let the blaring begin.
Who's your good boy? Here we go. Buckle up!
His purebred next-door neighbor and crush, Honey, teases him constantly, but they have some fun chemistry together. Bull also has a trio of friends nearby: Rocco, the boxer with mommy issues; Lucky, a beagle with a masochistic streak; and Fetch, the dachshund influencer. Personally, I find it disgusting that there are people in this world who dress up their dachshund and put those pictures on Instagram. How shameless. By the way, go follow my dachshund Jenna on Instagram. I'm serious, the link is in the description. She's so cute. It was her birthday recently.
Help me.
At their local dog park, the group talks to a sad Great Dane named Luther, who recently lost his balls. He tells the guys that the day before getting fixed, he was spoiled, but the aftermath has left him distraught and emasculated. When a snobby borzoi named Sterling starts making fun of him, Bull gives him both barrels.
You know what I smell like?
Yeah, piss and shit.
Yeah, exactly. And meat, and grass, toilet water, and maybe a hint of unexpressed anal glands. I smell like a real dog.
Back home, Bull's family starts fussing over him. It's the best thing ever! Food and fun and oh... Yeah, you're next, Bull. But he takes off and makes an escape to the city streets of Chicago. Time to live it up and get high. Oh, and his balls can talk now. No, I'm just joking. He hallucinates that his balls can talk. One's Napoleon for some reason.
We must wait no longer. It is time to put fate into our own hands, not the cold paws of this fool.
I agree, Frenchie.
But once he sobers up, he gets cornered by a swarm of cats ready to attack him. But his friends show up to save the day by getting beaten up with them. And then they run away. By the way, I love these cats, especially the kitten. Aww.
Meow, he's dead.
Wanting to cheer him up, the other dogs offer to take Bull out for a night on the town, to have one last hurrah before the big day arrives. And they go absolutely wild, killing squirrels, freeing a teacup dog from some lady's handbag, watching said dog get ran over by a car, and stealing hot dogs from a food cart. What a blast! Everything seems great until Bull gets hit by a car. Don't worry, it's not as bad as the other dog. This one's cartoony. He's stuck on the window. And guess whose car it is? Oh, it is Honey's owner. And she's in the car too. They're running late to a dog show. Bull and the guy sneak in via a trench coat. Classic. And Bull watches Honey win her category. He wants to tell her that he loves her, but now he believes he's not good enough to be with her. But Honey struggles to accept the win, that maybe it is better to be different and not perfect.
You were perfect. This is hopeless.
I hope you choke on your blue ribbon, bitch.
Whoa,
I
what?
shouldn't have eaten breakfast. Why would they choose a pig to win a dog show?
No.
She sees Bull in the crowd and tries to get to him. But all hell breaks loose when Rocco is accidentally entered in as a competitor and snaps at the judges. The audience panics. Bull and the guys leave the venue, and then they set off to a sex club. Oh no. Bring in the gauge and blur.
How do you want it? You gon' back that thing up, or should I push up on it?
Lucky actually manages to get lucky and hits it off with the bouncer, Frankie, who is an intersex Doberman. These two are really cute. Meanwhile, Bull reluctantly tries to hook up with a sultry female borzoi named Molasses. It's like, molasses, honey, molasses, you get it? But he can't stop pining over Honey and is obviously terrible at sex, leading to Molasses to take the reins at the worst possible moment.
Bull?
Honey! Oh my God! You're here!
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm really not into multiples. I'm kidding. I totally am. Can you imagine if that's where I drew the line?
Oh, this is awkward. Honey tells Bull off for breaking her heart. But the sex club is raided by a team of dog catchers, with each of the dogs getting separated into different kennels. Honey is picked up the following morning by her owners. However, they're planning on studying her out with Sterling and selling the puppies for mad cash. Okay, follow me on this one, because this next bit gets really wild. So Bull and the others decide to pee all over the dog catchers. They break out, Lucky hooks up with Frankie again, and then Bull takes one for the team and makes the ultimate sacrifice in order to stop Sterling from knocking up Honey. How does he do this? I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna blur it out. You can use your imagination. It was so much that I had to look away while watching the movie. And I was like, talking to Rishi saying, is this really happening? Is this happening on screen? And what if I told you all that this is only the second weirdest sex scene from Gindi? Because personally, I think that Primal takes that title. Bull apologizes to Honey, admitting that his behavior was selfish, and he needs to face the music one way or another. Oh, poor puppy. But hey, at least his family loves him. Before the big day, Bull meets up with Honey, and they have a heart-to-heart. They finally open up about their feelings for one another. Bull is clearly not a smart dog, but Honey spells it out that she likes him in spite of his balls, not because of them. And then he puts those balls to work. The following morning, Bull's balls get the axe. But life goes on. 3 months after that, surprise, he's a dad now. So good on him and Honey. Oh, and Sterling got his boy's axe too. Sorry. And then the movie ends with a very weird sequence where Honey goes on a girls' night and they get pretty wild with it. Like, I have no words to describe what I'm seeing. It involves a bear and its assets. And I'm blurring it all out. That's the most you're getting out of me. A little bit of I gotta say though, we can throw it back. So I gotta ask, how did this movie come to be? Where did Gindi get this very interesting idea for his movie? Mostly, he was inspired by his longtime friendships, with some of them going back as far as high school, with their personalities being slightly exaggerated and going into Bull's cast of pals. So I guess you write what you know, and he was writing about his friends. For this project, Gindi was in it for the long haul. He had been trying to get it produced since 2008, but development took substantially longer to get off the ground. The script was being worked on in summer of 2018, and production had finally started in July of 2022, with the cast announcements dropping the following year. By the way, the guy who voices Bull is the same guy who voices Pizza Steve from Uncle Grandpa. That's where I heard that voice from.
Oh, my queen. I have located the perfect specimen for you to breed with.
The production for Fix was completed by September 2023, with the budget at an estimated $30 million, which is nothing relative to the cost of most major animated blockbusters. For contrast, the budget for The Day the Earth Blew Up was a paltry $15 million and broke even at the box office. But with Fix being an original animated film that was also adult, well, there weren't many offers from outside companies. Even if it was tied to an animation auteur like Gindi, many of the narrative choices they eventually went with were inevitably going to lead to a movie that would be exceptionally tough to market. Originally, Sony had partnered with Warner Brothers under their New Line Cinemas division to release it. This made sense as Warner had been the distributor for pretty much every major Gindi project one way or another. But Warner got cold feet and dropped it from their release roster in August of 2024, giving the rights back to Sony. And for a while, Fix was effectively stuck in limbo. It was an awkward position for Gindi to be in too. He's an established figure in the animation industry with a slew of awards and critically lauded shows, but his finished movie had nowhere to go. In an interview with The Wrap, he explained, quote, "The movie is kind of a unicorn. It's very specific. It's 2D, it's R-rated, it's original. All of those things that nobody wants in the industry nowadays. I even offered to rent out a theater myself for 3 months and pay for it. Just give me the rights to the movie, and if people start coming to see it and spread word of mouth, great. If not, then I know we had a miss." End quote. Fix was also being made when many other productions at Warner Brothers Discovery were getting axed due to tax write-offs. Both Batgirl and Scoob Holiday Haunt were shelved entirely over money, and it really is a miracle that the same thing did not happen to Fixed. Having that kind of precedent for other already finished movies would have made anybody paranoid. Gindi stated, quote, "Anything I've ever done, whether it's a TV show coming out for a movie, had a release date. At a certain point, you can't blame the buyers. You start doubting yourself. You start becoming insecure about what you've done. And then I thought about all the test screenings, how great they were. It's just one of those things. You can't explain it." End quotes. Netflix was not interested in distributing the movie for over a year, but that changed in 2025 after a shakeup in Netflix's adult animation management, headed by John Dodarian. With that, Fix finally had a new home and a formal release date of August 13th, 2025, a day that will live in infamy. So after watching Fixed, do I think that this movie is worth checking out? Personally, yes, though it's definitely not for everyone. If you're on the fence about seeing it, I would definitely clarify that you should only check it out if you know what you're signing up for. The trailer for Fixed is one of the most upfront cases I've ever seen of either you get what we're going for with this, or it's not gonna be for you. Though I gotta say, the trailer made me think that this movie would be a lot more raunchy, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It's still a lot, but at least it did not 100% hang dong, thank God. In this movie, you're gonna see dogs eating poop, you're gonna see dogs humping, and yes, you're gonna see dozens of shots of dog buttholes and balls. So if you know all of that, and you're a fan of raunchy adult comedies like Big Mouth and Sausage Party, then you're most likely going to have fun with Fixed. The story itself isn't that complex, and its message is pretty straightforward. It's about self-worth and taking pride in being different, that you don't have to be some pedigree purebred show dog.
That is just freaky.
Some people got really grossed out while watching Fixed and had to turn it off. I get it. I really do. I have to admit, there were quite a few scenes I cringed through. But I will say that the friendships between the characters were decently explored in the film. They all have their own quirks and weird hang-ups, but you can tell that they really care about each other. I really do like how Bull and Honey interact too. Yeah, they have a few misunderstandings and communication issues, but where things end up with them, it's pretty damn sweet. This movie was a lot more heartfelt than I expected, and the characters were funny and had great chemistry.
My pack!
Fixed is already shaping up to be a pretty controversial movie, with folks on Twitter making some pretty gross and dumb accusations towards Gendy regarding the movie's sexual content. But I wouldn't put any actual stock into that junk. You know, it's Twitter after all. Fixed is definitely not for everybody. But if nothing else, Fixed is an incredibly ballsy concept for a movie. And if Fixed is well enough on streaming, maybe that will give Gendy the creative freedom to do more of his own original film projects going forward with Netflix. He even said, quote, "My number one fight is that I want to have the career that I have in TV, but I want to have it in features, where I have original after original. Obviously, a Miyazaki model is the best thing ever. He can just make pretty much whatever movie he comes up with. That's kind of the goal. And in this business, and in our climate right now, it's so hard to get an original sold." End quote. Ain't that the truth? Fixed is definitely crude, irreverent, and sometimes goes way over the top. But it knows that, and was clearly made by people who love what animation can do as a medium. It's still wild to have any 2D animated movies being released in the US at all. Plus, the animation quality is just as beautiful and fluid as it ever has been from his team. The animation work was done by Renegade Animation and Lightstar Studios, and the crew did a fantastic job bringing everything together. The movement is incredibly expressive and bouncy, so major props to them. And from where I'm looking, this is the closest we're going to get to a modern-day version of Fritz the Cat, but this time with Bull the Dog. But I will end the video on this note. In a day and age where online censorship is accelerating at a very alarming rate, it is a good thing that a movie like Fixed can even exist. I'm not saying that people have to like it. Ultimately, vote with your wallet. But it's encouraging to know that artists can still make it with their off-the-wall ideas. I would be much more concerned if movies like Fixed went extinct entirely. The last thing I want is creative stagnation or full-blown censorship. Just because it makes you uncomfortable does not mean it should be forbidden. And boy, did Fix make me feel uncomfortable. But I was laughing along the entire way. But hey folks, those are just my thoughts. What did you all think? Tell me down below in the comments, and I'll see you all next time. Cue the dancing bear.